Do Notar helicopters suck?
That's like autopilot, dude.
How do you fly a helicopter? Well, I'm gonna show you. In this video, we are going to go over Notars, which are helicopters that have no tail rotor in the back. Now, I am not your guy to go to if you want to learn about Notars. I know very little about Notars. While I was going through flight school and becoming a flight instructor, I spent very minimal time learning about Notars. You know, they make up such a small fraction of the helicopter market. So we are going to go on to MD Helicopters. I think they're the only operator, within the US at least, that operates Notar helicopters. Maybe there's one other that I'm missing, but I think it's just MD Helicopters. So we're gonna go on their website, see if we can learn a little bit about it and get a decent understanding of what the heck it is and if it's good or if it's bad. So we are here on the MD Helicopters website, mdhelicopters/Notar, and we're gonna just read what they have to say. It's a pretty short page. So Notar technology. The Notar anti-torque system eliminates all the mechanical disadvantages of a tail rotor, including long drive shafts, hanger bearings, intermediate gearboxes, and 90-degree gearboxes. Using the natural characteristics of helicopter aerodynamics, the Notar system provides safe, quiet, responsive, FOD-resistant directional control. It is safe. I think that makes sense. If you don't have a big tail rotor in the back, that is safe. Even safer than a fenestron shrouded protected tail rotor. This is probably safer because you don't have any sort of blades back there. Quieter. I don't necessarily know the aerodynamics, but it would make sense if it was quieter. Responsive, that's good. You want your tail rotor to be responsive. And FOD resistant directional control. So that's pretty important. All right, how does it work? The enclosed variable pitch composite blade fan produces a low pressure, high volume of ambient air to pressurize the composite tail boom. The air is expelled through two slots which run the length of the tail boom on the starboard's right side, causing a boundary layer control called the Coanda effect. The result is that the tail boom becomes a wing, flying in the downwash of the rotor system, producing up to the 60% of the anti-torque required in a hover. The balance of the directional control is accomplished by a rotating direct jet thruster. In forward flight, the vertical stabilizers provide the majority of the anti-torque. However, directional flight control remains a function of the direct jet thruster. I'm not sure I totally understand exactly what they're saying there, but let's go watch this video. Let's see if we can figure out, we can learn some more from it. So this video is from Just Helicopters. I love that website. I get so much use out of Just Helicopters, so big shout out to them. And this video is only 3 minutes, so let's find out what they say.
Number one, going to idle, clear on the left. Here we go.
At about 12 to 15%, you're going to get light off over here.
It's a sick looking helicopter. It's pretty cool.
Hello, my name is Nick Page. We're here to talk a little bit about the Notar on the MD 900 or 902 Explorer. What the Notar is a other way of providing anti-torque for the aircraft. How it's generated is the tail rotor, which is of course not on the back of the aircraft, is actually mounted forward inside the fuselage up here. It rotates based on a drive shaft, much like it would on a tail rotor off of a conventional helicopter. It pumps air down the tail boom. In the tail boom, there's two slots running along this right-hand side. One here, see if I can use this, and the other one right in here. The air is vented out from these two slots, and it creates a higher velocity airflow on this side versus the opposite side, creating a pressure differential, much like the Bernoulli effect on a standard airfoil. What it basically works out to, though, is a Coanda effect. It's more than just Bernoullian pressure differential, but it creates lift off to this side here, allowing for heading control. The Notar fan pitch is directly connected to the pilot's pedals. As he applies left or right pedal, the amount of airflow that's pumped into the tail boom is increased or decreased, creating more or less Coanda effect out of these slots. Approximately 2/3 of the heading control of the aircraft is from the airflow out of these slots while at a hover. Then what we have on the very back end of this is a rotating cone, which also turns when the pilot is pushing the pedals. And it vents out the...
So the Kawanda effect gives... That effect itself gives 2/3 of the amount of anti-torque needed in a hover, and then the supplemental, the rest of it, is coming from this variable jet thruster that can change direction.
Remaining 1/3, and it provides a measure of pushing. Back into this is a rotating cone, which also turns when the pilot is pushing the pedals. And it vents out the remaining 1/3, and it provides a measure of precise additional control to the heading control provided by the 2 slots forward. This is how the aircraft works at a hover. As you're transitioning into forward flight, you get above 60 knots, then your verticals pick up much of the load from
big vertical stabilizers.
In addition to the other aspects of the Notar, what we also have here are vortex generators, which have been added to this tail boom, along with a 21-inch extension plug. Vortex generators, what do? Well, as we progress forward down the tail boom, you can see more of them. And what they do is they allow the Kawanda effect to work to a higher lateral amount of hovering speed than would be able to be had without them. What they do is they just keep the airflow from the main rotor adhering to the surface area of the tail boom longer, or higher speeds. And that's how the vortex generators work on this tail boom.
All right, so there you go, Notar. So, I mean, that does make sense. You've got your fan, and then that's expelled, which produces the Kawanda effect, and that Kawanda effect gives you a lot of your anti-torque there, and then you've got that variable pitch thruster on the back that gives you the rest of the torque you need. So, I don't know. I want to know what your thoughts are on it. Do you think this system makes sense? Should this be implemented more, or is the conventional tail rotor better? It seems like you've got good tail rotor authority. You've got prevention of things taking out the tail rotor. You know, you don't have something back there that things can fly into or people can walk into. So there's potentially a lot of benefits with this. I want to know what you think. I'm not exactly sure how I feel. I think there's a lot of pros to it. I need to further understand it, and I need to spend some more time thinking about it and maybe flying one, and I could really have an opinion about it. But let me know what you think down below. If you have any questions, I can try to answer them in the comments below, and I will see you guys on the next one. Take care.